Story time on how I got scammed out of $20,000 on Facebook Marketplace.
I just got scammed $300, and honestly, it's probably my fault, but if you're on Facebook Marketplace and you were intending on buying 2 gray couches, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Okay, I think I got scammed on Facebook. I don't know. You guys can let me know if I'm overreacting, but I'm gonna show you the receipts.
I just got scammed $300, and honestly, it's probably my fault, but if you're on Facebook Marketplace and you were intending on buying 2 gray couches, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I'm literally cutting the grass right now. It's 90 degrees outside. I'm literally dripping bullets. I have grass in my hair all over my body. My mom is selling these 2 gray couches. She's selling them for $300 total. Someone got back to her immediately and was like, I'm interested. Can I pay you now? I'll pick them up tomorrow. She was like, don't you want to see them? They were like, no, I'll pay you now and I'll pick them up tomorrow. She said, okay, cash. I'll see you tomorrow. They said, we don't have cash. We only have Zelle or Venmo. She told me about all this commotion. So I said, I have Zelle. Just have them Zelle me. I'll give you the cash and then they can pick up the couches tomorrow. Everybody's happy. So then I said, oh, you're interested in the couches. I think my mom said they're $300. They said, okay, we'll send it to you now. So I'm cutting the grass, doing my thing. I'm literally dripping bullets still. Like, I'm very hot right now. And then they tell me that Zelle flagged the payment because it's too high of a number that's being transacted to me, that it's fraudulent. And that they need to send me $600. So then all of a sudden I'll have $600 in my account. And then the moment I send them $300 back, then Zelle will put the $600 in my account. So a little red flag is going off in my head. And I said, are you sure that doesn't seem like too high of a payment? And then they said Zelle emailed them and that I should have gotten an email as well. So I checked my spam and lo and behold, there it is. This is Zelle. You need to pay $300 so you can get the $600 immediately in your account. So I'm like, you know what, whatever. I'm about to have a heat stroke. Let me just send him this money. So I send him $300. And as I'm doing it, I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Called Zelle, asked him what's up. They said we would never, ever, ever do that. You moron. Got one more time and I said, please give me my money back or I'll get the police involved. They said, go right ahead. So if you're buying or selling anything from Facebook Marketplace, be careful and don't cut the grass while you're doing it because you might have a heart attack.
So it sounds like my Nigerian cousins got to this guy and he's trying to blame it on being hot and cutting the grass. This is the oldest trick in the book. This is old. This has been people have seen this scam so many times at this point that the way you fall for it is beyond me. Unless you are maybe an elderly person who is who they normally target. Now listen, I'm not calling him a moron. He called himself a moron. He's not a moron, but he did a moronic thing. There were so many red flags. Number one, they wanted to send the money before even coming to pick it up. Now, I understand buying things sight unseen. People do that all the time. But why would you send the money before you're out the place to get the thing you're buying? Number one. Number two, $600 is an amount that's too large. Are you serious? Let's be serious. Now, I don't know. No, I do know. That's ridiculous. I sent more than $600 with Zelle multiple times, many times. That's insane. And then the whole trick about, yeah, you send us money first and then, no. Already right there. I would have said no to start with to begin with, but just if I had gotten to that point, I would have known straight off the bat, like, no, this is a scam. Don't do it. This is my cousin overseas trying to get me. And he got. So just be careful, guys.
Okay, I think I got scammed on Facebook. I don't know. You guys can let me know if I'm overreacting, but I'm gonna show you the receipts. I got a $200 mystery bag of clothes, and I know that that's stupid, but I never really buy anything for myself, and I thought it would be fun to just get a bag of some nice clothes. And so I'll show you the receipts first and then I'll show you what I got. Okay, first I'll show you the listing. I'll put it up on here. So the listing showed all these pretty, like, cute clothes, and so I asked her if those are the clothes that she's selling, and she said, this is the inspo pic, and, like, you know, a little bit of a red flag, but I was just like, okay, cool, sorry, I can't even get it together. Ooh, sorry, $200 is a lot for me, like, I don't know. I know that I'm overreacting, but I'll show you because I'm just a little upset. Okay, those were the inspo. And then in the caption, it read lots of name brand stuff, like Brandy, Addicted, Adidas, which she did put Adidas in, and Aritzia. But I'll just let you read them and decide, like, what would you think you're getting in this bag, you know? Like, she did say she'd throw in some freebies, and I was like, great, but, like, the thing that I wanted was the clothes, you know? Like, I wanted to treat myself to some clothes, okay? So now is the fun part. I'll show you what I got in this thing that was supposed to be mostly tops, mostly bikinis, look like that picture, and be mostly name brand, okay? Now you tell me if you agree. Okay, starting off strong, we got this. I don't know what in the world I would ever use this for. I mean, it's cute, but okay. And then you saw it in the messages too that she said it was mostly size small. I said I'm an extra small, is that gonna fit me? She's like, yeah, I'm extra small, most will fit. So again, I have an issue with like the sizing too, okay? Okay, first thing I pulled out was this. This is like a giant men's button up. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that.
Sorry. Let's continue a little bit. I'm not gonna laugh at her pain. Let's continue just a little bit.
Okay, and then I pulled out this, and it's cute, it's Ralph Lauren, but it's a size 6, so that's not gonna fit me. Okay. Time and True, so that's Walmart. Okay, cute workout set, like this is probably the Aritzia, or like, you know, nope, it's from Forever 21, and it's a size medium, so it's not gonna fit me. Then I was like, oh cute, like some Lululemon jeans, wrong, I don't know what that is. Hey nuts, but it's not Lululemon.
This isn't as bad as the first guy who got scammed with the oldest trick in the book. I think that, you know, I wouldn't be too hard on her. I think that she took a chance and, you know, she did a little bit of due diligence. She spoke with a person, she saw the inspo pics, and to be fair, a lot of this, some of the stuff she's shown so far isn't that bad. It just doesn't fit her. And there are some things in there that aren't name brand, but I don't think the person said that everything is name brand. She just said that some of the stuff is name brand. So I wouldn't say she really got scammed, so to speak. I think that it was more of a white lie. The person kind of made it to be more than it really is, and she was a bit gullible and fell for it. So scam is a bit much, but definitely she slightly got taken advantage of. What do you think?
Story time on how I got scammed out of $20,000 on Facebook Marketplace. So I was searching for months to get another scat pack. And I finally found one in Oklahoma City. So I tried to get them to come here because they're about 2 hours away from me to do the deal. And they kept giving me excuses. That should have been red flag number 1. And it was. So I ended up driving 2 hours away from my city by myself. No one wanted to go with me. And I've never drove that far by myself. So I get there and he's literally at work. He told me he's a manager of this car dealership, but it was his personal car. Later, come to find out, I call that place a few months later and they say, no one works here with that name. But he was literally in uniform, so I still don't understand that. So I cashed out him 10 grand and then gave him my card that was worth 10 grand. It wasn't stolen. It had a title from Carvana. I made sure all the VINs matched, so I'm thinking it's all good, right? Like, what could be wrong? Well, about a month later, I go to text him, and because there's some like opener or something, some like remote in the car, and I'm like, what is this for? Is it like a garage opener? Is it for a kill switch? No response. So that's fishy. And then I realized he blocked me on Marketplace. So I had his phone number. My texts were still going through there, but he blocked me on Marketplace. So then I go to the DMV and they tell me, honey, you need to get your money back. You got totally scammed. Now, I had no clue what title jumping was previous to this. So basically, the title is from Carvana, and there's 2 purchasers who had signed the title, but they never registered it. So that means I couldn't register it. I had no clue this was a thing, but this is a really, really bad thing, pretty much. I was gonna be out of 20 grand. I went to 10 different DMVs, and all of them were like, we can't help you. There's nothing you can do. You're gonna have to take them to court. I already have court stuff going on. I don't want to take another person to court, bro.
For those of you who are like me, who had no idea what title jumping even was or is, title jumping is when someone purchases a car and then resells it without having titled it in their own name, also known as floating a title, and the practice is illegal. So why do people title jump? So apparently the first thing is not wanting to pay taxes and fees before reselling the car, cheapskates. So instead of going to the DMV and registering it or getting the title in their own name and doing all the things they need to do, you have to pay taxes, you have to pay fees. They don't want to be bothered with that, so they don't go and register it. Cheapskates. Second thing, not wanting to register as a licensed dealer. So apparently states can require you to do so if you sell more than a certain number of used vehicles per year. So maybe this guy who's selling on Facebook Marketplace sells a ton of cars every year, and because he's selling over a certain number, he should be registering himself as a dealer, but he's a cheapskate, so he doesn't want to do that. So he's title jumping and leaving someone else to hold the bag, and not the good bag, by the way. And the last one is not wanting to disclose a negative vehicle history to buyers, where this is the one that's most obvious to me. You know, you don't want to show the Carfax. You don't want to really show what's going on with the car. So some car titles may be branded as flood damage or salvaged. So I can totally understand that. I know all about having a salvaged car. I used to have a salvaged car. And so, but obviously it takes the value of the car or the vehicle way down. So this is why some people would participate in this scammy activity.
So finally, I called this one DMV, and they're like, I'm not sure how we can help. Let me talk to this person. They know more about this. And we'll give you a call back. So they give me a call back a few hours later, and there's nothing we can do to help you. But this person came in and gave their business card, and we've heard really good stuff about them. They're basically a title service agency. Now, I had no clue that there was title service agencies. Like, I did so much research online and I knew nothing about this. So I hit them up and I had to pay them like $600, but it was worth it, worth being not out of 20 grand. And they helped me, thank the Lord. And I was just now able to get it registered after 5 months. I was driving 5 months unregistered.
All right, so I'm glad that you got taken care of, because $20,000 obviously is a lot of money for most people, right? It doesn't matter how much you make. Well, for some, for very, 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 very few people, $20,000 is nothing or not very much. But for 99% of people or 98% of people, $20,000 is a lot of money. So if she would have been out $20K, that would have really sucked. Hope she learned her lesson. You got to move smarter than that. You can't just start randomly cash apping people $10,000 without confirming certain things. No, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane. So I'm happy it worked out for her. But this just goes to show you that, and this doesn't mean that most people on Facebook Marketplace are scammers. Obviously not. But there are some people out there who are up to shady business, and they're gonna do what they can to get one over on you. So you have to make sure to do due diligence and keep your head on a swivel and make sure that you're protecting yourself at all times. Otherwise, you could be out $300 or $600 in the case of the first guy. You could be out $200, or you could be out $20,000. So, I mean, there's that. That being said, guys, let me know in the comment section if you have ever been in a situation where you dealt with someone who was a bit scammy on Facebook Marketplace, and did it work out for you, or did you just write it off as like, hey, lesson learned? Let me know. With that being said, feel free to like and subscribe. And as always, until next time, make smart financial decisions.